Episode 36 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory Career Mode here on EAFC 24. We are halfway through January and we have made some big moves. I didn't anticipate a particularly busy January transfer window for Redmont Rangers. However, in the last episode, we did receive an offer from Sheffield United for Harrison Stanley. So the backline is going to be looking a little different in this episode. Harrison Stanley having moved on to Sheffield United for 1.4 million. Giving them Harrison Stanley for a good price allowed us then to get Daniel Jebuson's loan move made permanent from Sheffield United for a good price. A really good price of 2.15 million for Daniel Jebuson. So he was on loan for the season. Luca Morrow has been recalled by Sassuolo. But Daniel Jebuson's move made permanent. So the team in general going to be looking very different. And those two moves, one departure, one arrival, are going to be the basis of that, really. So Daniel Jebuson is going to start up front alongside Jake Dale, and the back line is now missing Harrison Stanley. So Gerald Dorset is going to have to come in. I was tempted to put in Aidan Hutton. Rory Bullock also down in the reserves, awaiting his opportunity. But Dorset is a new arrival. He's only 22 years old. He is left-footed. He's got great pace, really good physical, and decent defending, although not fantastic. Couple of play styles for him as well. So we're going to give him the chance at centre-back in place of Harrison Stanley. So I think we're going to run with this 4-4-2 a little more often now that Daniel Jebuson has arrived on a permanent deal. So that will give us a chance to give Samson Tavide some more time up front as well. So 3 games to get to in this episode. The first is going to be an away game against Lincoln City, and I think that is going to be the game that we play. So we're going to jump straight into that one. We're then going to sim this game against Walsall, and we're going to sim through the January transfer deadline. I don't anticipate making any more moves, but I didn't anticipate selling Harrison Stanley either. So we're going to have to see what kind of offers come in. No more arrivals imminent though, and then we're going to sim this game against Port Vale as well to take us right into February. So Lincoln City, I believe, we're going to line up with 5 at the back. It's what we're used to from them, and they are. Ayoma apparently is a key player for them, but they're going to play a 5-2-3, and they're going to set up fairly standard. 3 losses in the last 5 games and only 1 win, and they are a little below us in the table. We are all the way up in 4th place at the moment in League 1. I might just need to change the kits before this game. Lincoln City, unfortunately, share the same 3 colours as us, red, white and black. So it might be tough to find a kit that best fits, really. I think the all black probably will be fine. Just the white away kit is probably fine as well, to be honest. I'm not sure which would be better. Let's go with the black, and then Lincoln can wear their home kit. I do like that away kit, and I feel like we haven't used it much, at least in games that we've played. So I do want to get that out and see that again. 50 career wins for Hans Newman. That's come around quick.
And good evening on what is a perfect night for football.
Was that 50 wins already? Or was that 50 wins with a win here today? Didn't quite catch exactly what they said there. I think that must mean he's got 50 wins already. Early chance here for Michael Garbutt, and he fires home. Oh my god, 1 minute and 25 seconds into the game, with Redmont Rangers' first attack, Michael Garbutt fires Rangers ahead. And that's come out of nowhere. The Lincoln fans absolutely furious. Just a long ball up from Ryan Lancaster, really. A cross into the box. Just kind of a speculative cross, really, just to see what would happen, just to ask questions of the Lincoln City defence, and they don't answer those questions to their manager's satisfaction at all. Really excited now that Daniel Jefferson is a permanent Redmont Rangers player. I think him and Jake Dale could be really dangerous up front. And I think we're going to want them to be a pairing up front in the championship for sure. Don't anticipate bringing in anybody else up front now, except potentially a young striker. But I think we've got Daniel Jefferson and Jake Dale. Those are the clear first two. And then Samson Tavida I really like, and I think he's got a lot of potential as well. So he's going to be kind of the main substitute. And there is space for a fourth there. We have got Charlie Coates and Noah Cook currently out on loan. So we'll have to see how their seasons have gone and kind of what their overalls are looking like come next season. Potentially we can hang on to one of those to be a fourth option. But I think we're pretty much set up front now. Eli Just has stolen the ball away. Can he find Daniel Jefferson? He can, but his shot is blocked by the Lincoln City defender. Redmont Rangers all over Lincoln City in the opening 10 minutes here. And that's going to continue with a Michael Garbutt corner. Eli Just at the near post, can't get there. It's going to fall for Soroya. Again blocked, but looks like potentially with a hand according to the referee. Good opportunity here for Eli Just, very close to the edge of the area. I would prefer a right footer, but I don't think we've got anyone really capable of taking free kicks who is right footed. So it's going to have to be Eli Just. Ooh, just tries to curl it into that near corner. Strikes the face of the Lincoln City defender in the wall. The wall didn't even jump. And it does just smash him right in the forehead. Another corner then, Eli Just to take. A little deeper this time. Caleb Taylor there can't quite get his head on it. And Lincoln City could break here if they can get players forward. They are playing 5 at the back and their wing backs don't look particularly keen to venture forward on the counter attack, so don't think that'll be a threat over the course of the game, but we will have to see. So Roy's going to have to win that. He doesn't. Caleb Taylor manages to intercept, but gives the ball straight back to Lincoln City. Oh, Daniel Jefferson almost getting in the way there. Did well to press the Lincoln City defender, but manages to clear, not only clear his lines, but find a teammate in the process. It's a good passage of play from Lincoln. They've kept the ball well here and worked it into a difficult and dangerous position. Good defender from Redmont Rangers so far though, just keeping our shape. Really struggling to get the ball back here though. Oh, and it's a great last ditch challenge from Brandon Anderson. The Lincoln attacker squeezed past him. Very, very close to the byline there. Nick Zoroya just nicks in and steals that ball away to break up the Lincoln City period of possession. Ryan Lancaster's not going to get there and the goalkeeper just bangs it out for a throw-in. It's taken quickly and Brandon Anderson runs towards the central area of the pitch to get a shot off. Beaten away by the goalkeeper. Not a particularly difficult save. Good feet from Michael Garbutt. Manages to find a little bit of space to cross. Brandon Anderson will bring it down. He'll do well to hold on to the ball, but he can't. I think that CDM role currently occupied by Brandon Anderson, or some combination of Brandon Anderson and Paris Magoma at the moment. I think that is an area we're going to have to look to upgrade next season. Maybe not even upgrade, but just kind of replace, really. Paris Magoma only in on loan. Brandon Anderson, I believe, 31 years old. So whilst we're happy enough with those two players this season, it's not exactly a sustainable situation at central defensive midfield.
It's a short one.
Short corner from Lincoln. Good feet from the attacker. And they work the ball to the edge of the penalty area. Again, we do well just to defend that space and force the ball back out wide. I think if we can keep Lincoln City in the wide areas, then we're going to be successful, at least defensively, this game. They are playing 5 at the back, although they are playing 2 wide wingers rather than 2 through the middle up front. So, oh, Jake Dale doesn't quite manage to nick the ball away there. I thought he'd stolen it for a moment. He has stolen it this time though. Sets Michael Garbutt on his way. Spreads the ball wide to Josh Key. And potentially a chance just for Redmont Rangers to get our feet on the ball. Lincoln City having a lot of possession early. Big diagonal ball from Brandon Anderson just over here. It was a good idea. Eli Just was in a lot of space on that far side. And we do have 2 very good targets in the box now in Daniel Jefferson along with Jake Dale.
Well, a good place to win it back, and let's see what it leads to.
Oh, it's just a pass that's over hit there. Stole the ball away from the Lincoln City defender, but unable to find Jake Dale, who'd taken up a good position on the edge of the box. Good challenge from Garbutt, sends it out for a Lincoln City throw-in. It's been a fairly uneventful first half, to be honest. Lincoln City 66% possession. They haven't done too much with it so far, but that doesn't by any means suggest that they can't do anything with it.
Adam Jackson. He's given it away.
Oh, it's a good ball, and Ryan Lancaster's just offside. I think it's probably quite a way offside. It's a really good ball from Nick Zaroya, just... Oh, he wasn't. He was only just offside. One of the centre-backs there kind of stepped back from the rest of the line. The other 4 defenders keeping a really tight line there. One of the defenders just off the mark, though. And it was almost enough to keep Ryan Lancaster on side there. Big move. Nicholas Serler to Newcastle, just short of 50 million. Finally seeing them spending some of that money that they've obviously got in the bank now. They haven't spent too much of it just yet in real life. Sandro Tonali, by far the biggest signing for them, but beyond that, you know, they haven't been splashing the cash too much. I suppose Isak is a fairly big signing, but I feel like he's a signing a club like Newcastle could have made even before the takeover. I don't think any of the kind of top 6 clubs were going to come in for Isak. And then beyond that, they've signed players like Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn. And yeah, those are certainly players I would say they could have signed before the takeover as well. Not exactly big money moves, not exactly... Oof. Not exactly, you know, top young European talent, like somebody like Sandro Tonali. Lincoln City's first real chance of the game there flashes wide. Not sure Roman Hewitt has really... I'm not sure he's touched the ball with his hands yet.
Lancaster. This is looking threatening.
See if Lancaster can dig out across. He can. Lack of communication at the near post there. The goalkeeper wanted it, but it was the defender who headed it away in the end. Brandon Anderson will try and find some space to shape a shot again. Just manages to squeeze it wide to Josh Keane, eventually Eli Just instead. Michael Garbutt puts the ball in. Forces the Lincoln City defender to head out for a corner.
Well, what about that opportunity a few minutes ago?
There's the chance for Lincoln. It is a decent opportunity, about 10 yards out. And just kind of snatches at it and drags it wide in the end.
And there's the delivery.
There's Jake Dale, wins the header but immediately blocked.
Dangerous.
Lincoln City defender just did enough to
Can't quite take advantage.
put Jake Dale off there. Lovely ball from Dorset, finds Eli Just.
Will he play it in?
Drives towards the penalty area. It's a good challenge from the Lincoln City defender. Potentially Eli Just could have put it across there, but he wanted to drive into the penalty area
Rowan.
instead.
Teddy Bishop. Without intervention.
The two front men have been quiet so far, Jefferson and Dale. Neither have really managed to find too much space.
Teddy Bishop.
There could be something on here though, as Ryan Lancaster has space on the left hand side, cuts back, can't find the space for a cross, so instead he just finds Brandon Anderson inside.
He read the situation defensively.
He's not quick enough or strong enough to hold off the Lincoln City player though.
Adam Jackson.
And at half time Redmont Rangers go in 1-0 up.
Half here.
We've had very little of the ball really, to be honest.
Well, he's got a few things right.
Lincoln City have dominated possession, but they've just done so little with it.
He's been a little bit off the pace today. Yes, he's been tightly marked, but he hasn't done enough.
Quick look at the match stats at half time. It is 61% possession for Lincoln, but only 2 shots. Whereas we've had about half as many passes and only, well, less than 40% possession, but we've managed to forge 6 shots out of it, and we've managed to nick a goal as well. So I'd be happy enough if we could hang on to
To the second half.
the 1-0 lead that we've got. Lincoln City, you'd imagine, are going to press for an equaliser a little more aggressively in this second half, so you'll have to be aware of any changes in tactics.
Comes to nothing at the end. That's a foul. And it
Long ball over the top, tries to set Daniel Jefferson away. The Lincoln City defender ends up intervening, but the ball bounces up and hits him on the hand. Eli just going to try again with another free kick from the other side of the penalty area this time though. I think we need to put a bit more on it this time. And try and lift it over that wall. We do lift it over the wall,
tantalising free kick. He was
but the goalkeeper gets down to make the save.
Well, there you have it. Plenty of chances created. Lots of good attacking football, but the finishing has been terrible, and they may live to regret it come the end of the game.
Oh, a good tackle from Ryan Lancaster.
credit to him for the chance.
Ball runs out of play though for a Lincoln City throw-in. It's another early substitution for Lincoln City. CPU team likes to do this a lot, I've noticed. They come out for the second half with the same 11, but they've always got a substitute ready to go within about 5 minutes of the half-time break.
Adam Jackson.
Jake Dale trying to make a nuisance of himself. We can kind of run Jake Dale
In here.
and Daniel Jefferson into the ground up front, really, pressing the ball. We have got Samson Tavide on the bench ready to come on, so Jake Dale especially. You know, I think we can kind of press with impunity, really, with Jake Dale.
Delivering it into the box.
Needed a bit more on the cross there from Nick Zaroya. Oh, it's a poor ball from Dorset to switch the play. He manages to venture back it and keep it in play though. Lovely ball from Michael Garbett though, doesn't fall to Brandon Anderson. Garbett's playing well in this 4-4-2. I think he enjoys the system maybe a little more than the others that we play. Especially more than the 5-2-3 formation that we made use of so frequently in Season 1. Obviously he wasn't on the team in Season 1, but we have utilised it a bit this season as well. Even the 4-1-4-1 formation as well, the kind of 4-5-1 that we've played from time to time this season as well. This 4-4-2 just seems to suit Michael Garbett a little better. He's so much better with players ahead of him, you know, playing balls in behind for them to run onto, little balls clipped over the top, things like that. And so I think he likes playing with the two ahead of him. Good challenge, Daniel Jefferson. If he can beat a man, he might be in behind here. Can't quite beat the central defender, and he does recover very well and gets the ball back. It was Dorset who stepped up to meet the Lincoln City player there and steal the ball away. Kind of found himself out of position there, Dorset. It was a bit of a risk to venture that far forward to try and win the ball back, but it was a risk that paid off, and almost paid off to a great extent with the second goal. It's Brandon Anderson this time managing to steal the ball away. He'll play Jake Dale in behind. Early ball for Daniel Jefferson, who takes it down at the back post and fires an incredible shot across goal. That is an incredible finish. Really, really good goal from Redmont Rangers. Brandon Anderson doing his job and stealing the ball away in midfield there. Jake Dale playing a lovely ball over the top. It looked like he overhit it, but Daniel Jefferson managed to readjust, brought the ball down on his chest and struck it first time on the half volley across goal. Both the Lincoln City defender and goalkeeper took away that near post. Left a gap at the far post and Daniel Jefferson found it incredibly well. I think we'll make a change there. Half an hour left in the game. I think I'm comfortable enough to bring on... I think we'll bring on Paris Magoma for now. And we'll bring on Maya Walter on the left. I'd like to bring Sam Ford on at some point. I think if we can just bring Magoma on though, and have Anderson and Magoma in midfield, and sit in our defensive game plan for 10-15 minutes or so, and then we'll only have about 15-20 minutes left, and I feel a bit more comfortable bringing somebody like Sam Ford on for those last 15 or 20 with a 2-goal lead. But I'd like to make sure we hang on to that 2-goal lead initially. Good interception from Josh Key. All he can do is put the ball out of play. Maya Walter was there available, but better to be safe than sorry. Josh Key just puts it out. Magoma wins the header though from the throw-in. Brandon Anderson just caught on his heels. I think Anderson thought Jefferson was going to play Jake Dale in there, but instead he squared it for Brandon Anderson, who wasn't ready to receive the pass. And this is where Lincoln City could be dangerous. I think that they're going to press a lot more aggressively for a goal now that they are 2 down. I expected a bit more aggression from Lincoln City in the second half regardless, but especially now that they are really chasing this game, I think they're going to be flooding players forward. Good challenge from Brandon Anderson. Nick Zaroya comes away with it. He does find Eli Just. got Jake Dale running in behind, but we don't need to be playing those kinds of balls now that we are 2 goals to the good. Much more sensible just to keep the ball. We don't need to push for a third, we just need to hang on to the 2-goal lead.
They just can't get near the ball, and you can fully understand the crowd's reaction.
Oh, we got lucky there. Daniel Jefferson strikes for a third, but it's straight at the goalkeeper this time, unfortunately. The ball slipped through the Lincoln City defence somehow there. I don't think Jefferson was expecting to get on the end of it. Beaten away by the goalkeeper. It's a decent save, but a fairly comfortable one. Going to try an in-swinger this time. And we're going to crowd the keeper. Dorset is there. No, it's Brandon Anderson who heads towards goal. Oh, it was Dorset. They look so similar, both with the kind of similar length kind of dreads, and then both with red boots as well. Couldn't see a number there, so that's the only way I can tell them apart, really, aside from their position on the field, but obviously that doesn't really apply from a corner. Big switch of play from Maya. Walter finds Nick Soroya. Dangerous challenge from the Lincoln City player, but Redmont Rangers player manages to avoid it. Could have been dangerous though. Eli just trying to get something going there, but just unable to wriggle away from the 3rd Lincoln City player. He managed to kind of wriggle away from 2, but a 3rd was too much to ask there. Good challenge from Nick Soroya, just pokes the ball away. Tries to do the same again, but it's really good strength from the Lincoln City attacker. Roman Hewitt. Good reaction save down away to his right. Probably made a bit of a meal of that, to be honest. The ball falls to Jake Dale's feet somehow. Lincoln City defence making a real mess of that. I think we'll make a couple more changes now. I'm going to bring Sam Ford on. I'm going to bring Jose De Silva on at left back. Considered maybe bringing him on and pushing Soroya up to left midfield for Eli Just, who is starting to flag a little bit now. But I think we'll leave Just on. Caleb Taylor's there, can't win the header.
Well, it has come to nothing. Ten minutes to go then. Well, he prevented it from going over the line.
It's a poor pass from Paris Montgomery in the end. Didn't see the Lincoln City defender lurking there between him and Jake Dale. He wanted a little reverse pass in the opposite direction to his run, but with 5 Lincoln City defenders at the back, it wasn't going to come off.
I think the scoreline reflects the difference between the 2 teams. For most of the game, they've dictated the play and they've created some really good chances. I think it's been an excellent performance.
I think it'll be time for our last change next time the ball goes out of play. I think I'm going to bring Samson Tavide on for Daniel Jefferson or Jake Dale. I'm not sure who yet, but it'll be one of the 2 strikers making way. We might give Samson Tavide the start in the next game as well. So potentially we'll bring Daniel Jefferson off here, and then we'll start Tavide and Jefferson in the next game, because I imagine whoever doesn't come off here is going to be a little fatigued going into the next game. Don't think we have a full week's rest between. I could be misremembering that though. We might not even get a chance to make a final change. Lincoln City, I think, have just given up on the game here. They're just knocking the ball around at the back. I mean, we're pressing them diligently, but they're showing very little threat going forward at the moment. Yeah, they're just content to keep possession, to be honest, Lincoln, and see the game out. I think they just want to see the final whistle. They pressed for a goal for a short while, maybe for 10 or 15 minutes or so after we scored the second goal. But since then, they really haven't looked a threat. They haven't looked a threat for the full 90, to be honest. They've had 2 half chances, one of which was dragged wide and one of which was saved smartly by Roman Hewitt. So it's been a fairly comfortable game for us, even though we've had very little of the ball when compared to Lincoln City. I think it's Jake Dale that will bring off for Samson Tavide here, just for the last few minutes or so.
Corner coming up. Well, they've been getting the substitute ready, and now they will make the personnel change.
The goalkeeper up. They've just passed the ball around at the back for 10 minutes, but now they're sending the goalkeeper forward to try and get a single goal back.
Snuffing out the danger. Oh, very effective play in possession.
And there is the final whistle. I'm not sure why they brought the goalkeeper up there. It was absolutely pointless. Even if he did the unlikely and scored, they would have been 2-1 down with about 30 seconds left to play. So a goal for Daniel Jefferson, not on his debut, but in his first game as a true Redmont Rangers player.
He worked hard, he was always involved in the game, and he scored a very good goal. That was an impressive performance today.
Nice to see him get on the score sheet, especially when we had so little going on, really. I mean, we did finish the game with 11 shots on only 35% possession, whereas Lincoln City managed only 3 shots, 0.5 XG, with 65% possession and more than double the amount of passes that we had. So just a really flat, poor performance from Lincoln City, to be honest. Kind of toothless, very little to write home about going forward. Yeah, like I said, Jefferson didn't score on his debut, as it's stating here, but in his first game as a permanent Redmont Rangers player. Good to see him get on the score sheet. Have we worked out a way to play against Lincoln City now? Our attack and play is always a threat against any team, really, especially in League One. And then were we always confident we'd come out on top? Yeah, I think so. I think we're the better side.
That'll be all, thank you.
So where does that leave us in the table? We are still in 4th position. Potentially we've solidified our spot in 4th a little further though. So Bristol Rovers still have a game in hand on us, so they could win that and rise to within a point of us again. But we are 4 points now ahead of Portsmouth, so if Bristol Rovers lose their game, we could be in a very good position. Reading also in 7th have a game in hand. They're also on 44, so it's still very close at the top of the table there. I think maybe we do have a full week's worth of rest actually before we go away to Walsall. Rabi Motondo looks very good. I've been talking about needing a really pacey winger, just a guy with just breakneck speed down the wing. This guy has 94 acceleration, 91 speed, and I believe that's quick step and rapid. So he looks really good. I'm adding him to the shortlist without doubt. He's worth 3 million and has a release clause of almost 4, so potentially we're a little bit outpriced. Sissoko looks decent. He's got a lot of attributes that are just short of 70. So ball control, long pass, short pass, stand tackle are all 69. So it's not going to take much to get them up into the low 70s and have a bit more green on there. 2.4 million. Potentially we could get him cheaper than that. So I'm going to add him to the shortlist as well. I don't want to sell Sam Ford. I think he can still be a good role player for us. Zach Francis wants to leave. I'm surprised by that. We haven't been playing him a lot this year at all. And I think we're just going to have to accept this. Just to get him out of the club, to be honest, because he does want to leave. Oh my days, we've got lots of scouting reports to get through here. I'm going to try and breeze through these fairly quickly. I don't want to linger on them too long. If the guy doesn't look good, I'm just going to skip ahead. If he does look good, this guy's not tall enough for what I want. Paxton Pomykal I really like. I think I talked in the last episode. I bought him on 23 and he was really good. Again, probably a bit too pricey for us though. This guy looks half decent. No playstyles though, unfortunately. This guy looks alright. I tend to just add players to the shortlist if they look half decent, and then I can narrow down the shortlist later on between episodes. This guy looks decent. He does kind of look in the Michael Garbutt-Samford mould though. We need a defensive midfielder more so than we need an attacking midfielder. Some players I'm just adding because they look like players potentially we would want to buy once we get up to like the Championship, the Premiership. Players that I'm just keeping an eye on. Oh, and Aidan Hutton wants to leave as well. It's an exodus in January here. We can't... We've had an offer for Bullock as well. Does that mean he's also going to request a transfer? So that's Zach Francis on the way out. We can't lose Harrison Stanley, Aidan Hutton and Rory Bullock in this transfer window. That's just too much. It's too much leaving the club. I don't even really want to sell Aidan Hutton, to be honest. Although, to be fair, we can sell Aidan Hutton. And you'll see why very shortly. Potentially you do know why already. But yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Actually, that guy looks really good. He's not an athlete at all. He's got 81 stamina. Other than that, not a great athlete, but good technical player. Potentially someone we could get in on loan. Nathan Ferguson I like in real life. Doesn't look great on the game though. Don't think we need any more strikers. Don't really need a goalkeeper. Again, don't really need a striker. So Francis is gone. We've rejected Bullock. Bullock hasn't asked for a transfer yet, or is this him doing just that? No, it's not him doing just that. Right, so we can sell Aidan Hutton because we have Jesse Cartwright. Jay Cartwright, he is the guy on In-Betweeners, right? Jay Cartwright. So we have Jesse Cartwright down in the youth academy, 6'6", 185. So he is very much in the Aidan Hutton mould. Aidan Hutton is 6'6", 192. So very similar in terms of build. 63 overall at just 17 years old. He would be just a ready-made replacement for Aidan Hutton. 91 to 94 potential. I'm really excited for him. So if we do have to sell Aidan Hutton, which it looks like we're going to, we can always bring Jesse Cartwright up to the first team. And then Jasper Shields is the other player I'm very excited about. 4 to 5 playstyles as well, by the way, for Jesse Cartwright. A minimum of 4. And we're going to get his defensive work rate up to high before long. He looks so good. And then Jasper Shields as well, 16 years old. 94 as the top end of the potential as well. 74 is a lot lower obviously than Cartwright, but we haven't had this guy in the youth academy for quite so long. We can see he has increased by a massive 8 overall this year. Part of that did come from changing his position, I believe. I think he was a CDM, and we moved him forward to just a regular centre midfielder. I think that bumped his overall up quite a bit, and then he's progressed a little bit beyond that as well. 16 years old, 66 overall. So he's actually he's way better than Francis, who we've just sold. He's actually better than Sam Ford as well. And yeah, another guy I'm really excited about who we might get up into the first team before long. Alex Petit as well. But we do have a number of wingers in the squad already. Gibbs and Walter, and in addition to the starters of Lancaster and Just. Sam Ford I'm going to give a start here. Aidan Hutton wants to leave. Reece Bevan talked about wanting to play, and he hasn't played for a while. And I'm going to start Samson Tavide up front alongside Daniel Jefferson. Oh, we're down to just 4 reserves in the squad. And I think potentially I'm actually going to start Bullock as well. Just because we can't sell him as well. We can just about afford to sell Aidan Hutton, but we can't sell 3 centre-backs in one window. Alright, let's sing this game against Walsall then, and that will take us to the deadline, and we do get a win. Daniel Jefferson scoring early in the second half after Hutchinson had fired Walsall ahead in the first. Samson Tavide, with half an hour left to play, gets a 2-1 victory for Redmont Rangers though. So 2 wins in the episode so far. And we've got an FA Cup game next, so we can't easily see where we are in the standings. The left back from LA Galaxy that I just added to the shortlist, a $4 million offer has been put in for him, so probably not going to be signing him anytime soon. Roman Hewitt currently is our number 1 goalkeeper, so we can't sell him either. Reece Bevan, I've just put you in the game to avoid this. Reece Bevan wants to leave the club as well. I really need to do a better job of rotating these players apparently. Oh damn, I've just seen we've got Aston Villa next. That's going to be an interesting one then. We're going to have to save that for next episode. That has to be the game that we play, obviously. So, change of plans then. What we're going to do is finish up this episode with the January transfer deadline. And then the next episode is going to be Aston Villa in the FA Cup. So that's we did have Port Vale there originally at the start of the episode. But it's been rearranged for that FA Cup fixture. So Aidan Hutton, let me just double check, but I think we do have to sell him. Brandon Anderson we don't have to sell, but to be honest it might make sense to sell him right now. So Aidan Hutton has submitted a transfer request, so he does need to go. And then Brandon Anderson. What do we do about Brandon Anderson? So Hutton we accept. Brandon Anderson, he is 31 years old, and we've had an offer of 1.65 million for him. He's a very good player. He is 31 though, and we are a team that's looking to get younger. I think he's probably our oldest player. Beyond Elliot Willis, of course, yeah. He is our oldest player. How many years does he's got 1 year left on his contract. He is still progressing. He's +1 this year. I don't think we can sell him. I think we go to Luton and we ask for, God's sake. I was going to say, let's negotiate with them and ask for something like 2.5. If they give it to us, great. If they don't, that's fine as well. The menu in this game is just so laggy though. I pressed down like 3 times there. It went down once. So apparently we just rejected it. That's fine as well though. I think they wouldn't have accepted 2.5 million. We are going to have to sell Reece Bevan as well though. So I think we're going to have to bring in somebody at the deadline after all. Just because we've sold about 1.5 million worth of players So we're going to have to do something with that money, unless we just grab another scout. Global Transfer Network scout. That might not be a bad idea, actually. So I'm really sad to see Aidan Hutton go. I was quite excited for him at the start of the series. He just didn't really play up to my expectations, though. I thought the guy's so big, so strong, put him in the middle of a back five and he would be absolutely imposing, but he just wasn't very good, to be honest. I just thought he was cool. So, January transfer deadline. What do we currently have? I hate that you can't just see how much you've actually got in your budget. Oh, you can. It's right there. Current budget in big letters. 1.265. I think that's still with Reece Bevan on the way out, though. I don't think the money's come in for him yet. So, yeah, we could afford a 4-star scout, I would imagine. And I think that's probably the best way to spend our money, to be honest. Let me just double check the financial objectives. Yeah, there's nothing there. So I think Reece Bevan will leave. I think we'll bring in another scout. And I think we'll bring up Jesse Cartwright and Jasper Shields. And there goes Reece Bevan. Oh, so we only got 560 for him. And we're obviously not going to get all of that. So potentially we can't afford that 4-star scout. That would be a real shame. I think we're going to be... Where am I looking? Scouts. I think we're going to be just short of being able to afford him. We are just short. About 100,000 short. So do we buy a 3-star, 4-star scout? Or do we invest in a player? Who have we got on our shortlist? Who we could grab for about $1 million. We probably can't pay any more than that, to be honest. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's bring Jesse Cartwright up into the senior team. Let's bring Jasper Shields up into the senior team. And let's see how we're looking in terms of players and positions. Jesse Cartwright, I'm tempted to just start immediately. I don't think I will. I think I'll put Dorset in for now. Shields, I do want. I think he's going to have to be on the bench, though. So Magoma and Shields on the bench. We've got the two forward boys in the reserve. So we're deep at centre midfield. We're deep up front. We could do with another fullback. So we have got Jose da Silva, who can play on the left or on the right, to be fair. And I think Bullock actually could probably slide out to play right back as well. But an additional right back wouldn't be the worst. Who do we have in our youth academy? Nobody really. So let's have a look at the shortlist. We've got this guy Tavon Gray, who won't be sold as he's too important for the club. So that's useful. This guy's just gone to PSV, so there's no way we're getting him at any point. So we don't currently have any options in terms of fullbacks on the bench. We can approach Jason Lekilo directly. That's interesting. Where's the guy I was really interested in, though? Matondo. I'm willing to relocate. Fantastic. This is going to be quite a long episode, I think, at this rate. Scott High, we don't really need another centre midfielder. So many players just unwilling to relocate. Is there another player that we could sell? in order to try and get that 4-star youth scout. I think that's going to be the best use of the money that we've got, rather than just buying a player here for almost no reason. Yeah, I'd rather spend money on a scout now, just whilst we've got it laying around, and then spend some real money on some good players next summer. We could also sell a player and bring them back from their loan. However, that does mean paying the fee to recall them. Oh, it's so minimal though, to be fair. I'm going to recall Charlie Coates, and I'm going to put him on the transfer list. I don't see him in the future of Redmont Rangers. Noah Cook is already up to the same overall as him. He's progressed 2 overall more than Charlie Coates this season, and he's 4 years younger. So if we were to play either of those players, it would be Noah Cook. We've got plenty of wingers. We could potentially bring Oscar Duarte back and just have him as a backup left back. I think I'm going to do that, and then I might just switch Jose Da Silva back over to the right side. Only takes 2 weeks. So we're going to have Jose Da Silva as our backup right back, Duarte as our backup left back. We are going to let's try and sell Elliot Willis as well. I'm not sure we'll be able to sell either of those players, but if we can get that 4-star scout. So an offer for Eli Just from Middlesbrough for 1.7 million. Again, it's a player I think we want to hang on to and use in the Championship. So I'm going to reject that for now. Potentially we could sell him in the summer. It is another player we've brought in on a free though, so I don't really want to sell those players. Tavide we're not selling. We've bought him fairly recently. We're not ready to move on from him just yet. I still think he's got a good, bright future at the club. Willis approach made. Gibbs with a loan offer. Shields is wanted by Athletic Bilbao, which is interesting. A loan to buy for Gibbs. We need Gibbs to be playing this season because we need that to meet that youth squad objective. So we're going to reject that as well. Another Willis approach made, and we have got an offer for Charlie Coates. I'm going to try and negotiate just a little bit more out of them because we do need all the money we can get, really, just so that we can afford that scout, and then also have just a tiny bit left over for emergencies. We don't need much. A couple 100,000 would be fine. Alright, we're just going to accept 250. The scout was only, I think it was 1.74. Another transfer offer for Coates, which we'll just accept because it matches the last one. Only 4 hours left on the deadline. And Charlie Coates is gone. Oh no, or is that Elliot Willis? Elliot Willis agrees with Sheffield Wednesday. Charlie Coates also is gone though for 250,000. So that should just be enough to be able to afford a 4th Global Transfer Network scout. And it is. So we'll grab this 4-star guy. And I think we've got about 100,000 left over now. Yeah, so I'm actually going to recall all of these guys as well. We don't really need them out anywhere at this moment in time. So that's a good use of funds, I think. We sold players we had to sell because they just wanted out. We've got 105k left over, 5k in the weekly budget. I'm absolutely fine with that. And we've got a 4th scout now that we can get, looking for players who are going to be good for us in the championship if and when we do reach the championship. Might not be this season, although we're certainly on pace to reach there this season. Want to make the playoffs and give us a chance to reach the championship this season anyway. So yeah, let's check out the fixtures from the FA Cup before we finish up. So Man City and Brentford still in the competition. Bolton and Huddersfield, Hull City and Leeds, kind of a local rivalry there. Southampton, Chelsea, Wolves, Walsall make it through. Ipswich make it through and play Everton. Blackpool, Middlesbrough, Sunderland, Port Vale, Nottingham Forest, Watford, Brighton, Newcastle, Arsenal, Crystal Palace. So a number of Premier League teams. Cambridge make it through and play Bournemouth, Leicester, Liverpool, Norwich, West Ham, Sheffield United, Burnley. So not too many lower league clubs in the competition. We've made it along with Walsall and Ipswich, and then Cambridge as well, probably the lowest ranked team still in the competition. I did just want to check out the League One table as well before we finish up. So we're up to 3rd place, 51 points. Bristol Rovers in 7th have played the same number of games and they're all the way down on 44 points. So we're actually 7 points ahead of Bristol Rovers now in that top playoff place. 5 points behind Rotherham in 2nd, and we're a massive 15 points behind Ipswich. So I don't think we're catching Ipswich in 1st. However, 2nd place still very much within the realm of possibility for us. So we'll try and progress towards that in the next episode. Next episode will start with a cup game at home against Aston Villa though. So hosting Aston Villa, Premier League competition at Redmont Arena. Obviously the highest ranked opposition we've played so far in the entire series. So we just pray that we don't get beaten too badly by them. Show up, give a good account of ourselves, possibly nick a lucky goal to send us through to the next round, but the competition's only going to get more difficult from there. The next round must be the round of 16. So if we can win this game and at least make the board happy by reaching the desired round, then that's going to be good enough for Plymouth Argyle. But yeah, that'll do it for this one. Fairly eventful end to January, we imagined. And just the one arrival really with Daniel Jebison. But a really exciting game to kick things off in the next episode. So until that next episode, take it easy.